Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about lucid dreaming, and in particular it was a series of thoughts that came through where my daughter was at my own funeral and we had a conversation. Very strange. If you watch through the video you can hear that story and I'll talk a bit about lucid dreaming. I'd love to know if this resonates with you, and if you've had a loved one that's passed, you might find some comfort in this video. So I kind of thought I'd put it out there and see what you think, okay? Hi guys, so this video is going to be a bit different to what I've done previously, and I'm still experimenting at this stage, and my main philosophy is to experiment every day. So I'm just going to try something different. I'm going to just try kind of chatting out a few things rather than how to, and just sitting down, relaxing, and we're just going to chill. Okay, so I'm interested to share some lucid dreams with you and kind of just put it out there. It's all a bit crazy, but yeah, it's really interesting at the same time. I've been going on this personal journey and I've gone through some really mentally hard problems and found ways to deal with the mental chatter going on in your head. And it's kind of progressed me. I followed one thing to another. I started investigating quantum physics and spiritualism and all this kind of thing. And it's led me down to this concept where we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. And when you die, that's not the end. You just go into another existence in spirit form or whatever you want to call it. My own personal journey, maybe I'll share that one day. But I've been doing things like meditation, eating really clean, and generally looking after myself. And it's become where I've started getting more and more lucid dreams happening. And I'll do a separate video on lucid dreaming if you're kind of into that and you want to try it out for yourself. But I want to share this dream that I had last night, where it's kind of half dream, you're half awake. It's an odd one. You're not actually in dreams. You're not in full dream state. You're conscious of what's going on. I thought this would be interesting to share because people who've had a death in the family, they might find this comforting. So I'm just going to grab my notes and I'm just going to kind of talk you through it. What happened is my daughter, who's 6 years old, she came to me in a thought and she was at my funeral. And I realised she was slightly upset because I was dead and she was at my funeral. So I just sent her the message back. It's okay, I'm still here. Whenever you need something, just ask the question and I'll answer. And she answered back, Dad, I already know. You've already told me this. Which I thought was funny. And then we had a little bit of a conversation and she was okay. And then it jumped to, I'm just checking my notes if you're wondering why I'm looking down. And then it jumped to another time period where I'm not sure where she switched to. She went to another point in time instantly. And we had another conversation. And I think she might have been in the future, and we were having another conversation. And then the pipeline between us, it's like I could see the pipeline connection. It was like a light connection between us. And it was kind of getting static. And I cleared it. And there was something saying, actually, that static's pretend. This connection has always been there. You just kind of know that connection is there. And it's always a really clear connection. It can't be broken. So we were basically just having this connection. And then I tuned into my son as well and said to him, I'm always here if you ever need anything. He said, Dad, I already know this. You've already taught us this. And then so now I've got two connections to both the kids, different pipelines, okay? And then my wife came in and out as well. And basically, I were having a conversation with the kids and they pointed to the time when I was sat chatting at them at breakfast. And I told them about this story about how I had this pipeline connection to them. And when I died, will always be able to communicate. And they pointed this out to me, which was really weird. Then my daughter moved into the conversation started moving towards my future, like what I'm experiencing right now in the future. And I said, I don't want to know what my future is. And my daughter Maisie, her response was, she said, Dad, it doesn't work like that. And she was referring to time doesn't exist. And if you look at quantum physics and things, they talk about time is an illusion, time doesn't exist. You can dig into it all. I'm it's you can look it up for yourself. And my daughter then asked me, "Where are you?" And rather than saying a place, it was time. I said, "I'm in 2020." And I said to her, "I know that time doesn't work like that, but I have to go through this process in 2020 of learning, so I can learn and fully believe how the time doesn't exist and how we can all just instantly connect to each other." Then the conversation went on, and this was really quick conversations. This video is taking longer than the conversation happened. You know what it's like when you're kind of in your dream state. And I then asked my daughter Maisie how she was doing, and is she still her happy, carefree self that she is? She's 6 years old right now. And I just had that feeling that some of it had been lost. There's some pressure there. She's not quite that same. So I grabbed the memories. It was like a flash series of memories of her right now, a snapshot of her, how carefree and she's just a free spirit, how happy she is. I grabbed it and I sent it back down the pipeline to her and I said, there you go, that's how you are. And it was as if I was here in the year 2020 to send her that back so she could remember. All very strange, I know, it's all sounding crazy. So she could remember to be in that natural, playful state. And then I had this realization, okay, so we're talking philosophy here, we're talking whatever. You can look at this as complete craziness, but I just think it's interesting. I realized, so if time doesn't exist and Maisie in the future is already talking to me spiritually and she's talking to me while I'm in 2020, in her world right now I'm already dead. It's like, all right, so I've already died, but I'm here existing right now in this moment. But in her moment, I'm already dead, and I'm talking to her from the dead. It's quite interesting. When you actually start getting rid of time, where are you? So that means spiritually you can jump anywhere once you get rid of this body. It's quite interesting thought. It kind of, and what was interesting though, when I had that thought to myself, I'm just reading my notes here, made me feel an instant of sadness. Just that, I'm not here anymore. But I realised you kind of exist permanently in any time, and that concept of death doesn't really exist. So there was more conversations happening, more personal things that I won't share. And then I kind of asked about my mum, and so I'm talking to my two kids, and I asked about my mum, and it was, yes, you are all connected, but the other members of your family aren't ready or tuned in yet. It will only be later on, probably when they've passed, when they'll actually be able to connect. And basically the concept was you can connect to each other once you are ready and open to connect. So it's quite interesting. And maybe this is something that if you've recently lost a loved one, or maybe this is something that you might take a bit of comfort in, where if you've lost a loved one, for instance, if you are open-minded, they're probably waiting there to talk to you. And they might be in their existence. If time doesn't exist, they might be floating around in a time where they're at their happiest. Or they might be just floating around somewhere doing some other mission. Who knows? But I just kind of thought it was interesting. And when the thought that popped in my mind when Maisie asked, where are you? She's thinking I'm spiritually, but I'm actually right here, right now. This is crazy, isn't it? And And the thought that came in was, I was really happy in the year 2020, and I'm going through this experience, and it's all the learning process, and that's why I'm here right now. And then towards the end of the conversation, Maisie said, you have to record this. By the way, you have to record this as a video. And it was like, that makes me feel really uncomfortable putting something like this out, just out in the general public. And, you know, my other concept is, or the first concept is life experiments. Keep trying new things every day, keep making gradual progress. And the other concept is to make sure that you're trying something uncomfortable every day. That's how you grow. So because of that, I am forcing myself to put this video out there. So it's okay. I'm a bit uncomfortable about it, but at the same time, I don't care. We'll just put it out. And it might be comforting for people to think, oh, well, maybe I can have a connection and a conversation with someone that's passed on. Just, you know, it can be quite nice. So yeah, that's kind of it. I'm going to do a separate video about lucid dreaming because there's many things that lucid dreaming can do for me as well in terms of inspiration, creativity, and producing things as well. So I'll do a separate one on that. But I'd love to kind of hear what you think about this. If this is something of interest, I might do a few more because there've been quite a few experiences. A little spider has just spun a cobweb over me. Or was it? That was a bit strange. So yeah, I might do a few more of these videos because there's been quite a few interesting ones where there's been regular conversations I've been having with people, or something's been going on, or some really weird things have been happening. And yeah, they might be of interest to people. I'd kind of be interested to know if other people have this happening to them as well, and just putting it out there. Why not? Okay. Love to hear some comments from you. Let me know your thoughts. Have you experienced this as well? Please give a thumbs up for the video. You know, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, if this is something that you like, let me know, and we'll do more chilled out videos. All right, speak to you soon. Thanks. Bye.